If you are new here, please like the video and subscribe. Statistics show that only 15% of my audience is subscribed to the channel, so if this content has helped you in any way, I ask you to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now, let's go back to the topic. When you stop texting and calling her, something unexpected happens. She doesn't just notice your silence, she feels it. In a world where everyone is glued to their phones, your decision to step back shifts the dynamic entirely. What happens next might surprise you, and it's more powerful than you think. Stay with me, and you'll discover why silence speaks louder than words, and how it can change everything. 1. She starts to wonder why you stopped. When you stop texting and calling, the first thing that happens is curiosity. In today's digital age, we're all used to constant notifications and instant responses. When you step back, you disrupt that rhythm. She starts to wonder, why isn't he texting me anymore? Did something happen? Is he losing interest? This curiosity often grows into something deeper. For modern women, who are bombarded with options and attention on social media, it's rare to encounter a man who doesn't actively pursue them. Your silence makes you stand out. She may begin to analyze your past conversations, trying to decode any signs of dissatisfaction or change in your behavior. She might even ask her friends for advice, creating a ripple effect of overthinking and uncertainty. The key here is that you've shifted the dynamic. By removing yourself from the constant stream of attention, you allow her to focus on you in a way that feels organic. She isn't responding to your texts out of politeness or habit anymore. She's genuinely wondering what's going on with you. And in a world where attention is currency, your sudden silence feels like a scarcity that commands value. Curiosity also sparks self-reflection. She may question her own actions, asking herself if she did something to push you away, or if she wasn't giving enough effort. This self-reflection can create a powerful psychological connection, as she starts to view you as a man who knows his worth and won't settle for less than mutual interest and respect. But here's the twist. The more time passes, the more her curiosity transforms into something deeper. What starts as a question of why you stopped texting can evolve into an emotional attachment, as she realizes she misses the attention and presence you brought to her life. 2. Her ego takes a hit. In this generation, many women are accustomed to being pursued. Social media, dating apps, and even day-to-day interactions reinforce the idea that attention is readily available. When you stop calling or texting, it's not just your absence that she notices, it's the absence of validation. Her ego, which thrives on attention, suddenly faces a challenge. This reaction isn't about vanity, it's human nature. Everyone, men and women alike, enjoys feeling wanted. But when a man pulls away, it shakes the foundation of how she perceives herself in your eyes. She may start thinking, why isn't he chasing me like other guys? Wasn't I good enough? In a culture where many women are used to constant reassurance, your silence forces her to confront her own expectations. It sends a subtle yet powerful message. You're not like every other guy vying for her attention. You value yourself enough to walk away if the effort isn't mutual. Her ego's reaction isn't always visible on the surface. She might not text you back immediately or show signs of missing you right away. Instead, she might try subtle tactics to gauge your interest. For instance, she could post something attention-grabbing on social media, hoping you'll notice. Or she might test your resolve by sending a casual text to see if you respond eagerly. The brilliance of this phase is that it places you in a position of power. You're no longer chasing her validation, she's now seeking yours. This shift in dynamics is rare and impactful in modern dating, and it all begins with your decision to prioritize yourself over constant communication. 3. She starts to miss you. even if she won't admit it. Here's where things get interesting. Once curiosity and ego set the stage, genuine feelings of longing start to emerge. When you step back, you create a void in her daily life. She might not even realize it at first, but over time, the absence of your texts and calls begins to weigh on her. Modern women are often juggling multiple responsibilities: work, social lives, and personal goals. But within that busy schedule, they also crave meaningful connections. If you were a consistent part of her day, your silence becomes glaringly obvious. She might catch herself scrolling through your old messages, reminiscing about the conversations you used to have. This phase is crucial because it's when she begins to associate you with positive emotions. In your absence, she remembers the times you made her laugh, the ways you made her feel special, or the depth of your conversations. Absence really does make the heart grow fonder, and in this case, it shifts her perspective from taking your attention for granted to genuinely missing it. Even if she's surrounded by other men who are texting and calling her, your silence stands out. It's not about playing games. It's about demonstrating self-respect and showing her that you're not available for one-sided effort. Her pride might prevent her from admitting that she misses you, especially if she's used to being in control of her dating life. But internally, the emotions are building. She's beginning to see you as someone who isn't afraid to walk away, which paradoxically makes her want you even more. 4. She questions her own feelings. When a woman starts missing you, it often leads to deeper introspection. She begins to question her own feelings. Do I really like him more than I thought? Why am I thinking about him so much? This stage is powerful because it forces her to confront the emotional connection she may have been avoiding. In the modern dating landscape, it's common for people to keep their options open, often without committing too deeply to any one person. By stepping back, you disrupt that pattern. You become the exception, the one who isn't chasing but is still on her mind. As she questions her feelings, she might begin to see you in a new light. She realizes that your absence has a greater emotional impact than she expected. This can lead her to reassess her priorities and how she's been treating you. She may even start to feel a sense of regret for not appreciating your efforts earlier. The more she questions her feelings, the more she's likely to reach out and try to re-establish the connection. But the key here is that she's doing so from a place of genuine interest, not just habit or obligation. 5. She takes action. Finally, the tipping point comes when she decides to act. At this stage, her curiosity, ego, and emotions have built up to a point where she can't ignore them any longer. She's no longer content with wondering or reminiscing. She wants answers. She might start by sending a simple text, something casual like, "Hey, how have you been?" Don't be fooled by the simplicity of her message. This is her way of testing the waters. She wants to know if you're still interested, but she's also opening the door for communication on her terms. In some cases, she might take bolder steps, like suggesting a meetup or expressing her feelings more directly. The beauty of this stage is that you've shifted the power dynamic entirely. You're no longer the one initiating. She is. However, this is where your self-respect comes into play. It's important not to fall back into old patterns of chasing or over-communicating. Instead, respond with confidence and maintain the balance you've established. Show her that while you're open to reconnecting, you're also someone who values their time and energy. By the time she takes action, she's already realized your worth. And the best part? You didn't have to do anything except focus on yourself and step back. 6. She tests your resolve. When you stop texting and calling, it's natural for her to test your resolve. Modern women, especially those accustomed to getting attention easily, will often see your silence as a challenge. She might send a vague or indirect message, such as, "Hey, just checking in," or "Haven't heard from you in a while." These messages are not just casual, they're designed to gauge your response. If you quickly jump back into the conversation, it signals that your silence was temporary and easily broken. On the other hand, if you respond calmly and without over-investing, you reinforce your new dynamic. For example, a concise yet polite reply like, "I've been good, just busy with some things," shows her that you're still interested but not desperate for her attention. Testing your resolve isn't just about seeing if you'll respond. She might also post pictures or updates on social media that seem strategically designed to catch your eye. This is where self-control becomes critical. Avoid the urge to engage with these tactics, as responding too quickly might undo the progress you've made in shifting the dynamic. 7. She begins to respect you more. One of the most transformative effects of stepping back is the respect you gain. In the modern dating landscape, respect is often tied to self-discipline and confidence. By not over-pursuing or chasing after her, you're demonstrating that you value yourself and your time. This is especially impactful in a generation where many men fall into the trap of over-communicating, sending endless texts, or constantly seeking validation. By being different, you establish yourself as a high-value man, a man who doesn't need external validation to feel secure. Respect is the foundation of attraction. When a woman respects you, she's more likely to view you as someone worth her time and energy. This newfound respect can lead to a shift in how she interacts with you. She might start to put in more effort, ask about your interests, and prioritize conversations with you in a way she didn't before. Remember, respect isn't about playing games or withholding affection. It's about showing her that you're confident enough to let the relationship flow naturally. And when she sees that, her admiration for you grows. 8. She wonders what you're up to. The mystery of your silence can be incredibly compelling. When you're no longer in constant communication, she starts to wonder what's happening in your life. This isn't just about curiosity. It's about the fear of missing out. In a generation fueled by FOMO, fear of missing out, not knowing what you're doing or who you're spending time with can be unsettling for her. She might imagine you meeting new people, pursuing your goals, or simply enjoying life without her. This mental image often triggers a sense of urgency. What makes this stage so powerful is that you're living your life on your terms, and she can sense that. Whether you're improving yourself, focusing on your career, or spending time with friends, your actions, or lack of communication, send a clear message. You're not waiting around. If she starts to notice that you're thriving without her, it can be a wake-up call. The idea that you're happy and fulfilled without her presence is both intriguing and attractive, prompting her to reevaluate her feelings for you. 9. She reassesses what she wants. Once the initial emotional reactions subside, she begins to reassess what she truly wants. Your absence creates space for her to reflect on the relationship dynamic. She starts to ask herself important questions. Did I take him for granted? Was I too focused on myself? In this stage, her perspective shifts from surface-level attraction to a deeper evaluation of your connection. She might begin to appreciate the qualities that set you apart, your self-respect, independence, and ability to walk away if necessary. Modern women often juggle multiple priorities and distractions, which can make it easy to overlook what really matters in a partner. Your silence gives her the opportunity to see the bigger picture and realize that you're not just another option. You're a man with standards and values. This reassessment isn't always immediate. It takes time for her to process her emotions and recognize the impact you've had on her life. but when she does, it often leads to a deeper level of interest and commitment. 10. She makes a decision. Finally, after all the curiosity, introspection, and emotional processing, she makes a decision. This could go one of two ways. Either she reaches out to reconnect with a renewed sense of interest, or she decides to move on. If she decides to reconnect, it's often because she's realized your value and wants to rebuild the connection on healthier terms. Her approach might be more thoughtful and intentional, reflecting a genuine desire to meet you halfway. On the other hand, if she chooses to move on, it's not necessarily a loss. By stepping back, you've filtered out someone who may not have been fully aligned with your values or goals. Either way, you've gained clarity and avoided wasting time in a one-sided dynamic. What's important in this phase is how you handle her decision. If she reaches out, don't immediately revert to old patterns. Maintain the balance and mutual respect you've established. And if she doesn't, continue focusing on yourself and your goals. After all, stepping back wasn't just about her. It was about reclaiming your own value and prioritizing what truly matters. If this helped, like, comment, and subscribe for more. See you in the next video.